So basically, what happened was my welding machine wasn't working properly. And for those of you who've followed me along so far in my last couple videos, my first video I had mentioned I had gone through some eye surgery and I didn't weld for a long time. And I mean a long time. Honestly, this is my first project in welding in the last 10 years. So my welder, needless to say, as a reminder, has done nothing but sat in my garage. And it sat in all the heat, all the extreme cold, all the humidity, you name it. My garage is, it's really not well insulated and it's acceptable to everything temperature-wise. So with that said, what I was experiencing was my drive rolls. What I found out when I opened up the machine, the drive rolls actually had developed some rust on them. And when I looked at the wire almost seemed like it was resembling the same thing. The wire, it was kind of like you could see where it was clean, and then there were these little dark spots and clean and dark spots and everything. I can't really determine what those dark spots are. They don't wipe off. I'm assuming that the wire is shot. I'm assuming that it must be the wire had oxidized inside the machine, and the wire unfortunately was in the drive roll, and of course it was in my my MIG gun as well, through the cable right into the gun. So I was hoping it was just going to be a plug and play situation where I just plug that thing in and set my parameters and go. But that wasn't the case. As you saw, I was having some issues. It just was very sporadic, just trying to tack. And I was like, well, if I can't tack that well, I sure as hell am not going to be able to weld that well. I got to find out what's going on. So I didn't want to video it because it would have been, it took me, I would say probably at least an hour to solve the issue. So I didn't want to film an hour's worth of me looking at my machine, boring you any more than I already have. And with that said, what I ended up doing was, thankfully, I had ordered a large roll of wire, 35 wire, and I had it sitting on the floor, waiting actually for this opportunity. I didn't think I'd need it today, but I need it. So I was thankful I had that. Unfortunately, I was down to my last tip, and my last tip kind of just went kaputs. So I ended up using a 40 thousandths tip on 35 thousandths wire. It's okay for tacking, but I can see it's a little sloppy to try and control the arc. So I have some 35 thousand tips on order. Matter of fact, on order, I ordered a whole new MIG cable and gun package because my fear is, and what I could see, the wire going into that area, there's corrosion and rust around that area as it enters the sleeve area. So I know what you're thinking, well, you could just pull out the sleeve and replace the sleeve. Yes, I could do that very easily, and it'd be a hell of a lot cheaper than buying a whole new setup like I did. But my reason for that is that's a very short lead coming off there. So, and I always really wanted one more. I don't think that thing's really any more than maybe 6 foot coming off that machine. It's actually quite short for a 250. So what I ended up doing is I ordered a 15-foot lead, and that will be coming in the next couple of days. So hopefully by the next video, I'll be welding with that cable lead instead of this one here. My fear is just that even though I solved the issue, and it seems to be running a lot better, I was tacking better, I think the issue is going to be when I tried to weld a full bead, I think I'm going to still run into issues. I just kind of have that gut feeling. I'm going to go with my gut feeling because my instincts usually serve me pretty well. So with that said, what I was able to achieve going through this video was I was able to tack everything up. So I have the frame all tacked. This is all ready to go. I was able to cut and incorporate my my hitch that I wanted to put on the front, and also I was able to because obviously I had to edit this video for reasons being already stated. I was able to get out to Tractor Supply and get some casters for the front of the car. So yeah, so with that said, what I'm attempting to do now is come up with a way to attach the casters to this. And the way that I'm going to be doing that is they give you the areas for the 4 holes on the bottom of the caster, as most of you know. When you get caster, usually that's the norm. They bolt right on. My last cart that I made for an older machine, I did just that. I bolted them on and drilled the holes. With time constraints in my life right now, things going on, I want to kind of like zoom through this project a little quicker, so I opted to weld these right to the frame on this one. So what I did is I cut these plates on my Evolution saw, and these plates I'm going to tack weld right on this frame, and then from here, of course, I'll be tacking and welding these right to that bottom part of the frame. So this is just for strictly the front of the machine, and then in the back, of course, I have my other wheels that I already showed you in my last video. So with that said, let's keep working and let's see what I can keep doing. Okay, I have one more plate like this for the caster that I want to cut. I'll give that a cut and keep moving on. Yes, that was a helicopter that went over my house and a car that went by. I do apologize for that. I got 4 1/4 and 4 1/4. That's size plate I need to the mounting plates to get tacked to the frame, and then of course the wheels to get tacked to the mounting plate. So. Okay, one of my favorite little tools. I was putzing around with the welder so much, kept cutting wire. You get these little bits of wires and stuff. I don't really like having them around the garage because sometimes my dog comes in the garage. I'm afraid to get something in his paw, or even one of these in your tire. So yeah, so my friend the Magnet does a great job of that. So it telescopes. So yeah, a little magnet in your shop is always a little handy device to have. Thank God for this motorcycle lift and the way I was able to make it a table, because man, it's been a lifesaver. It really beats working on the floor. Okay, what I just discovered was in order to finish up or getting these mounting plates tacked on the bottom, I have to finish welding on the inside of the channel where the hitch is attached, because that's just tacked for now. So what I'll do is I'll pull the camera off and I'll show you that area, because once these plates go on and I tack those down, I'm not going to be able to get in there to accomplish that. So that's definitely something I have to address before I even tack these down. And to show you what I mean, I'll pull the camera off the stand and I'll give you a little look down there as best I can. I have no intention of, now don't, again, this cart is not going on the road. This is just a cart that it just moves the machine a lot easier around my garage. And of course, in my first video, I explained how I want the capability of being able to have the machine mounted on this cart so I can pull it up on a trailer in the future to trailer my machine. So it just makes things a lot easier, and the machine isn't so dedicated again to the trailer that I can't use my trailer for other things that I want to use it to. So yeah, I got to get this all welded up in here, because once this mounting plate goes on like so, as you can see, I have no no access to get down in there. So I gotta address that. So I think you got the idea now. So let me get this camera back on the stand. There we go. Hopefully, yeah, I'm still videoing. I didn't accidentally turn my camera off like I did one time. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna have to address. Now, what I'm not sure is if I want to address it now, because like I mentioned, my machine, I'm still waiting on a new MIG gun and a lead cable. And I have new tips that I ordered that have not come yet, even for the cable that I have. So it would be a little risky trying to attempt getting a good bead. So I want to make sure I do this right, and my machinery and equipment's doing really well and giving me what I need to get the job done. If I do it now, I'm risking really getting a nasty bead and everything. I got more grinding to do, and I'm just going to set my best self back. And I don't want to do that. So yeah. So you know, it's been progress. So from when I started, from my very first video to the last video I just posted to this one, you know, I'm all tacked up. I have a good solid plan going on. And although my plan isn't written out, this isn't some sort of engineering. This is just shooting from the hip. You know, I'm going with an idea in my head as I go along. So I'm really happy with the progress I've made so far. I wish it was a little more, a little quicker, because time is definitely not on my side in life sometimes. So yeah. So my next video, I'll you know, be doing more welding on this, and you know, getting ready, hopefully, to get the rear wheel set up on this, and then everything will be tacked up, everything will be mocked up. Then I'm going to put the machine on it and identify where I have to drill for the holes to mount the machine on the cart once it's you know, got all the wheels on it. And then pull the machine off and then weld everything up from there. So I'm good to go. For you probably might be wondering, what about a handle? Well, to push, I have had an idea of using the hitch just for that, where I would slide a like a handle that's attached to a receiver and put it right now in the hitch, and I can move the cart as I want to around when I'm not using it. Pull the pin, take the handle right off, and that leaves this open for anything else I want to do, like put a, you know, a panel in there, pin, and drag it around, you know, with my machine, and be able to hook on that way to get the machine to the backyard. In the event I need to use my welder for actually that too, a generator, so to run my house during storms and such. So yeah, so lots of planning, lots going on, and definitely making some progress. Again, thank you for watching, much appreciated. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.